Jim Longworth, and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Coming up later on, our infamous roundtable gets together. We'll talk about all sorts of controversial topics, but between now and then, some great guests and information coming your way. We'll meet some outstanding biology students from one of our area universities. We'll also tell you about a great place for families, and we'll talk about hospice care too. All that and much more. But first, we turn our attention to Safe, Sober Prom Night, a program that's been going for many years thanks to the good folks at Daggett Schuler. We have three folks that are going to talk with us about that right now. On my immediate right, David Daggett from Daggett Schuler, and David and Griff have brought a special guest, Angelina Rice. She's a student at Walkertown High School Career Center. We won't tell you why she's here yet. We'll get to that in a second. And Griff Schuler. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Hey, Jim. Thanks, Jim.
And I'm going to start with David and Griff, and then Angelina, I'm not ignoring you. I'll come back to you in just a second. David, remind the folks, just in case somebody's moved into the area, what Safe, Sober Prom Night is all about.
Yeah, Safe, Sober Prom Night is a simple program where students sign a pledge card. It's promising not to drink or use drugs on prom night. They get a free t-shirt. You've got one in your hand.
Right.
And it's a program of positive peer pressure. So it tries to encourage good behavior among the students.
Griff, why does this campaign, and it's always meant so much to you and the folks at Daggett Schuler?
I think a lot of it is the interaction with the community, and it's creating awareness of the program through adults having impact on the students. One of the things I think that we enjoy the most is going out to the schools and seeing the principals, the teachers, the custodians, the cafeteria workers, everybody taking the t-shirts, putting them on to support the
Absolutely.
kids. So it's that interaction between the adults and the students is invaluable.
And David, a moment ago I introduced Angelina as a student, but there's something else she's now known for.
Oh, she is widely known across the Triad.
Right.
She is the designer of this year's t-shirt.
Wow.
15,000 of them in 50 high schools all across the Triad.
Let's get a shot of this, Lori. I'm going to hold it up in front of me because my face isn't important. That's a great design.
Yeah, and Angelina's name is on the back, being recognized as the winner.
Cool.
And she is a terrific representative of the program, and we are just so proud of her.
Now explain this design, Angelina. How did you come up with it?
I like retro looking things.
You like retro looking things?
Yeah.
That's why you're here. You want to be with me, right? and did you have a specific source of inspiration for the shirt or what?
No, I just like the 80s and the 90s style.
Yeah, what message do you want to share with the students about Safe, Sober Prom Night? Because they're wearing these shirts, they're excited about it. Sometimes people get excited about things, but you don't want them to forget either. What message are you trying to get to them?
To do
Which
the right
is
things.
not to drink
yeah,
or do drugs
Yeah, to stay sober on not just prom night, but
all the time.
yeah.
Be responsible, right?
Absolutely.
Be responsible in your life.
What are your, I know this is a personal question, what are your plans after high school?
I'm going to Guilford Tech next year to
Right.
study graphic design, and then I'm going to transfer to Appalachian State to study graphic design. So.
Well,
She's
my wife
really
will.
talented, Jim.
She is. Now, do you consider yourself an artist, or
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
that's going to be your major? Or?
Yes.
That's so cool. Well, I just think this is neat. David, I know you guys are inspired by what she's done and what's going on. You
Yeah,
had some-
she has. Angelina has been a terrific representative for the program. I've actually known Angelina for more than a year, and I was kind of surprised because it's a completely blind selection process.
Right.
When she won, we were very, very excited.
Because you don't know, just for folks at home will know,
No,
when
no.
they turn in their competition, you guys who judge it do not know, there's no name on the...
we get submissions from art classes all across the Triad. They're scanned in blind without school information or artist information.
Right.
The selection committee then narrows them down. We pick a winner, and only then do we know who designed the shirt.
Griff, you going to wear your t-shirt around town?
I've already been doing it. What are you talking about, Jim?
That's right. I think this is great. Up on screen, just for more information, general information, as well as about Safe, Sober Prom Night, go to DaggettSchulerLaw.com. Also, the number over there in case anybody needs some help, wants to do a consultation and talk with the good folks at Daggett Schuler is 336-724-1234. Please check out that website. And I just think, I'm so proud of you, Angelina, for what you've done. David?
SafeSober.com also.
SafeSober.com?
SafeSober.com.
That's the new website. All right,
Yep.
SafeSober.com. I'm going to write that down. All right,
Yes.
check that out, folks. All right, we'll be right back after this. Now on Triad Today, and sometimes I just pick up the phone and I think to myself, let's get somebody on the show that hasn't been here in like 5 years. I just go down a list of 5-year things, and here she is next to me, our good friend Kathy Carr is Executive Director of the State Employees Credit Union Family House. We're going to tell you all about what that means in just a second. But officially, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Good
I'm
to
glad
see
to
you.
be here.
All right, let's tell the folks what the State Employees Credit Union Family House is and does, and what's the mission.
Well, Jim, it is a really easy mission. We take care of families who have to come to Winston-Salem for their medical care. So they might be patients at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center or the Novant Health System, and they live out of town. And for no reason other than that they live out of town and they don't have the care that they need in those communities,
Right.
they have to come to Winston for their
And of course, if you weren't there, I mean, you could spend money that you don't even have trying to get a hotel room, motel room, and you make that easier.
Absolutely, absolutely. When we started, that's why we started. There were people in the waiting rooms of the hospitals that couldn't afford a hotel.
Absolutely.
Or they were staying at a hotel, but at that extended stay, it really adds up, and they have all these other things happening during that medical crisis.
Before I forget, let's mention where you're located.
We are off of Baldwin Lane, so our next door neighbor is Trellis Supportive Care, which is a great partner for us.
That's right.
But we're conveniently located a short distance from both hospitals.
You could do an hour on this next question, but I'm going to ask you to just think of a couple examples of specific ways that you can help families who have loved ones that need medical care in this area. What are some of the services or perks or things that families can have at their disposal by coming to Family House?
Well, we're a 45-bedroom facility, so of course the most important thing is a shelter, a bed. So both of our bedrooms have 2 queens and a private tub bath shower. But what they get more than anything, and what they really need during this very chaotic time for them, is support from their neighbors, which is us. So
Right.
they come from Catawba or Caldwell or Watauga County, have to come in, they aren't familiar with the city, and they stay with us. And Wake Forest Baptist Health provides a shuttle on a limited basis for its patients and caregivers, which is really beneficial. And what we've been able to do in these 8 years of being open is have partners in the community who come in and provide meals. So that is a huge amenity for these guests.
Now you mentioned the hospitals at Wake Forest and also Novant. I'm just curious, how important is Family House to the local community and especially to the hospitals themselves?
Yeah, we sort of see ourselves as an extension of care for them. The hospitals are very supportive. In fact, the families are referred to us through the hospitals so that we know who they belong to and why they're here, and if they need other care, we can kind of refer them back to social workers and chaplains in those hospitals.
And you guys have no allegiance to one hospital or another. You're just trying to help families.
We don't, and we're independent.
Yeah. Now, how can volunteers? Are there places for volunteers to come in and help?
I think we're a great place to volunteer. There's always something that has to be done, just like in your own house. So from cleaning the kitchen counters to folding laundry, we teach everybody how to fold a fitted sheet.
Yeah.
And, but then there are other opportunities, meals. We are on 8 acres of property, so we need help with our yard and maintaining the facility.
How about that?
Yeah, so lots of choices.
One quick thing, how can families and individuals, viewers, help you?
I think just by going on our website and learning about us, and then coming out for a tour. I think you really don't know what it is until you walk through the walls of the facility and
Great
you see
facility.
it. So thank you.
I want to put up a couple things on screen. One, of course, is something that Kathy alluded to, www.familyhousews, which stands for Winston-Salem, familyhousews.org. I'll repeat it for the radio listening audience, that's www.familyhousews.org. And a shout out to the good folks at Visit Winston-Salem who help make this segment possible. VisitWinstonSalem.com is the website up on screen. They do wonders for marketing our area and bringing in all sorts of tourism, so a salute to them. Kathy, thanks for all you do.
Thank you. I appreciate the time.
We'll be right back. Triad Today, and I have to confess, I was not a good student in science when I was in school 100 years ago, and especially biology, but don't worry about that. I'm saved because next to me are I'm going to call them 3 biologists. I don't care what they want to be called. They're great, intelligent, great people from Winston-Salem State University, and I'm so glad they're with us. On my immediate right, Dr. Manju Bhatt, is Department Chair of Biological Sciences at Winston-Salem State University. Next to him is Carrie Dawson, a biology major, class of 2019. Next to her is Zakiah Henry, also a biology major, class of 2019. I'm intimidated by the three of you, but I'm so glad you're here anyway. Good to see you.
Good seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting us.
Now, we hear a lot about Winston-Salem State's health program and their nursing program. When I was a little boy growing up in the 50s, I mean, we heard about all sorts of friends of ours going to the nursing school. A lot of great reputations there in
Yes.
health. You don't hear as much about biology's like the hidden gem or something. Now, it's one of the fastest growing majors there. How is that? Why do you explain that growth?
Yeah, Jim, so indeed it's a fact. Nursing is considered one of our flagship programs at WSSU. Biology is growing. Part of the reason is in the last few years, we have made a concerted effort in three parts: recruitment, retaining students, and help them graduate.
Well, it's a great strategy, but if you had to say what's unique about it, how would you describe the uniqueness of the program?
I think Carrie and Zakiah can sort of probably attest to this. We are a caring family. We nurture our students. We pay one-on-one attention. We meet with them one-on-one, formally and informally. We give them the opportunities, not just in the classroom, outside of the classroom.
Don't treat them like a number.
Correct.
Like-
They are not a number.
Yeah.
They are not a number.
That's great.
Yes, yep.
Now, ladies, I'm going to ask you this, and anybody can answer in any order you want to, but my first question is, what has your experience in the biology program and experience at Winston-Salem State University meant to you personally? Carrie?
Well, I'd like to point out that I'm a non-traditional student. I transferred from North Carolina A&T State University.
Okay.
And when I first came to Winston, there was, some challenges adjusting, and I felt like the biology department really took me in, so to speak. I found a lot of comfort there, and I'm surrounded by endless sources of inspiration.
That's great.
Yeah, it's
my
amazing.
wife took me in years ago. It's a whole different story. Zakiah, what about you?
For me, I would definitely say that my WSSU experience overall, including being in the department, has been one for the books. I do not believe that I could have gotten the experience that I'm getting now anywhere else. Like she said, from the resources, like Dr. Bott said, from the family, getting that one-on-one. The mentor knows me, I know the professor. It's just a really great experience. We call it at Winston-Salem State a Ramily, because our mascot is the ram, and we feel
Right.
that family environment. So it's just great experiences.
Absolutely. Now, very quickly, ladies, tell me what plans you have after graduation. Start with you, Carrie.
So I plan on going to Mongolia this June for Peace Corps, so I'll be there for 27 months.
Bless your heart.
Yes, yes, sir.
Peace Corps.
Yes.
That's tough work.
Yeah, it is, but it'll be such an amazing, enriching experience. And then following Peace Corps, graduate school.
Graduate school. And then what do you want to do then, you think?
I don't know. It's kind of open. Like
Well, you have to decide right now. Right now. Zakiah, go ahead.
I will be getting my PhD in toxicology at Rutgers University in New Jersey after graduation.
Wow, that's something else. Manju, and you said it was okay to call you Manju. So
Yes, please, yes.
Showed, I was such a bad student in science. I feel bad about calling you by your first name. But anyway, you might grade me down for that. Construction's underway for a new science building. Now, how is that going to impact on your program?
So as you mentioned in the earlier, so our program is expanding. So we're recruiting more students, retaining more students. We need more space. So the new $53 million new science building is double the space from what we currently have. It has state-of-the-art classrooms, collaborative learning. It's not a traditional classroom setting. We have collaborative research space. And this all will help not only recruit students, but give our students the opportunity. We have collaborative research.
What a great success story.
program.
I'm so
Wonderful.
proud of all of you.
Yep.
Up on screen, www.wssu.edu, and for the radio listening audience in WSJS, wssu.edu. Please check that out. And again, I'm so proud of what you're doing and the great familial program there that they call biology and biological
it's a great
sciences.
program.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Today, always glad when our good friend Sheila Jones can drop by and let us know what's going on with hospice care. They do such a fine job at Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care, and a lot of it's attributed to this lady and her team and Denise and everybody. Next to me, Sheila Jones, Director of Marketing for Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
As we always like to do when you're here, and take advantage of your time, to start out for a few seconds, just reminding people who are watching what hospice is and who you serve.
Mountain Valley Hospice is a nonprofit organization who serves folks at end of life, anyone with a 6 months or less prognosis. We do that over 17 counties in North Carolina and Virginia. It is one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my work career.
Working with patients at the end of life and their families who you give a lot of support to.
And the part that I like the most is that we pay attention to that family. That's the whole purpose. It's a family unit.
Yeah.
They're all having to deal with this issue, and right on down to when the person passes, and we take care of that loved one that's surviving for that year afterwards.
Now, you just completed a big fundraiser, as I understand it. How did that go?
Well, we're not quite done, but it's that the big hospice raffle. We're in the process of giving away something every day for the month of April. We had over $5,000 in prizes.
Wow.
We profited about $18,200 and some odd dollars.
Now, you say that you're nonprofit, which is an important point. I want to get off on a tangent here because I'll preach about this, but a nonprofit hospice, like what Sheila's talking about, is one that accepts everyone. You're not going to be turned away if you can't afford
We're
it.
blessed to be able to say, not all nonprofits can do that.
Can't do that, but you can.
But we can,
But
and
that
we're
leads
proud
me
of
to
that.
about the proceeds to the raffle and everything. What specifically, how will those proceeds be
We will
used?
use that proceeds to take care of folks who do not have insurance, which means we will provide that end-of-life care no matter what their ability to pay for that service is. So that's where the part about not turning anyone away is important.
It is important. And you also sent me an email one day, if I remember correctly. You wrote to me something about that May is Older Americans Month
Correct.
coming up. All right, so let's piggyback on that. What's the best way and the best time for folks to sit down with elderly parents and have a talk with them about future care, health care?
In my opinion, that's any time, because that's just what we do. But using those special months to prompt those conversations like Older Americans Month is the times to say, you know what, Mom, you're not getting any younger. What is your plans? What would you like to see happen? As your caregivers, your children as your caregivers, or even your aunts or cousins or whatever it is doing that role, learn what their plans are, and then take it a step further and do an advanced directive document. Who do they want to be their healthcare agent? Who do they want to be the one to be the spokesperson for the family? I'm not talking financial. I'm talking just their healthcare.
Have a strategy about that. And now, not to put you on the spot, but can your team at Mountain Valley help facilitate these kind of talks?
Oh yes, by all means. We can do them one-on-one. We do them in group sessions. And the thing that I love about it is that it can be tailored to whatever that family might need.
And most people want to, and this was true with my parents before they passed away, and my aunt and uncle, they wanted to stay in their home. They receive hospice care in their home. Sometimes it's necessary, or it's chosen that you go to a hospice home. You have 2 hospice homes.
We do. We have 2, we call them, the new word of the year now is IPUs, inpatient units. And yes, they are hospice homes, which we're blessed to have 2. That we can care for folks there. But we also care for folks in nursing home facilities or assisted living facilities.
Right.
We have contracts with these said facilities that we can enhance the care that facility's doing. So that's an extra layer of support that family gets when that person is facing end of life.
Right.
And it's also an extra layer of support for that facility's staff. These people go into the facilities, they become family members of all the team, as well as the other people in the facility. They all make friends. And so how do you deal with that? And so we treat that as the family unit.
Okay. Now, up on screen, I want people to really take a look at this and visit the website. Spend some time with it. Because remember, it's a 17-county area that's served, that Sheila and Denise and everybody serves. So check it out if you're in one of these counties. And they'll have a map there on it, mtnvalleyhospice.org. Or you can call 1-888-789-2922 if you'd like to sit down and have a meeting. It's important to have these meetings and talks early on, as Sheila said, and I can tell you from personal experience that the hospice care makes a big difference. Sheila, thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable. Hope you pick up your copy of Yes Weekly. Lots of good stuff in there, including my column. Well, I'm not going to say it's good. I'll let you be the judge of that. But anyway, speaking of judges, we have 3 of them right here. I don't know what they're judging, but on my right, but always the political left, Ogie Overman, the great broadcaster journalist. Next to him, Dr. Don Martin, professor at High Point University and vice chair of the Forsyth County Commissioners. And I think one of our panel members wondered exactly what you do, Don, but we're going to get into that later. And then David Daggett, Daggett Schuler Law Firm, who you saw earlier in the program. He and his partner Griff Schuler were talking about the Safe Sober Prom Night. A great program that's been going for many, many years. Thanks to David. And I just want to give you a quick round of applause for that program.
I can, having been to a lot of the T-shirt unveilings.
Guys, I want to start with something we've covered one time before, but this is coming up next week, so I want to do it one more time. A number of counties, including Forsyth and Guilford, have now announced they will officially close their schools on May 1st because teachers are going to the state capitol to lobby for better pay. The closure will affect 500,000 students by the latest count and their parents, many of whom will have to pay for a sitter or miss a day from work. Once and for all, guys, are you okay with teachers shutting down schools? Ogie.
I am, Jim, and here's why. It's not they'll miss one day, but what they're really objecting to is not the pay so much. It's the way that the legislature has gutted public education, North Carolina, cutting aids and everything that goes into a quality education has been gutted by the Republicans.
Don.
Well, I'd agree with Ogie, except I don't think it's going to make that kind of difference. Last year, I was very supportive. That kind of message needed to be sent. But this year, with the days missed, the problems that are being created, by not going, that day is not going to be made up here in Forsyth County. By not making it up, a lot of people will not get paid that were set up to be paid, like bus drivers. They'll miss a day of pay. And plus, kids are not going to get their education made up, not to mention the inconvenience.
David.
Well, I agree with both. Here's the issue. You got a critical mass of teachers that are going to go anyway. That disruption's going to occur one way or another. We might as well accept it and live with it because it's going to happen.
All right, speaking of education, a number of state legislators have proposed a bill that would require that middle and high school students be taught about the Holocaust. Now that comes on the heels, it's unrelated to this, but comes on the heels of a new poll that says nearly 70% of millennials don't know what or where Auschwitz was. Are you okay with teaching kids about the Holocaust? Ogie.
I'm completely okay, not grade school kids, but by the junior high, middle school, absolutely. We need to emphasize history more anyway.
Don.
Absolutely, but it's a part of American history now in World War II. I mean, that's a whole piece of it.
David.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe if they did, there'll be more of an awareness. You wouldn't see so many of these swastikas painted on walls and graffiti.
I don't know about legislating it. To me, it's a sad statement that we have to legislate that we're teaching history.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But yes, I think it should be taught.
Over the past few years, a number of colleges have canceled speakers who were radical, had radical views. Now, President Trump has issued an executive order in which any college that does not protect free speech could lose their research grants, federal research grants. You okay with Trump's order, Ogie?
It's just another stunt. You know, if it were left-winger, you'd never hear a word out of him, but since they're trying to get some of these crazy right-wingers off the campuses, here he goes.
Speaking of swastikas, some of these people are going out and speaking weird things, but then they're canceled. I mean, they're invited and then they're canceled, so that's a whole different, Don.
I think it's only symbolic. I don't think anyone will lose any federal money over any free speech issues at American universities.
David.
I think it's going to pass. I think a university, public or private, ought to have the right to have whoever they want to come speak.
Or cancel whoever?
Or cancel whoever they want to cancel.
All right. A new poll by Meredith College says that nearly 60% of North Carolina voters believe a viable third political party would be good for the state and the nation. Guys, do you agree with that statement? And if so, when will we see a third-party governor in North Carolina? Ogie.
I don't think we will. I mean, I've thought a lot about it over the years about maybe trying a parliamentary democracy where we have 4, 5, 6, 7 parties, you know. Might not be perfect, but I don't know.
Don?
Well, I think nationally, third-party candidates have made a difference, not in the outcome, but in terms of future policies.
Policies, yeah.
And so I think a third party could be viable, but it's unlikely there's going to be one.
We're going to see a third-party governor, David?
I don't think we will. I agree with Dr. Martin. I think it's very important to have those third parties because it's an injection of fresh viewpoints and fresh ideas. Do I think they're going to win? Not in the near future.
All right, Jack Ma, that's his last name, M.A., Jack Ma, one of China's most successful businessmen, is proposing that China adopt a 12-hour workday and a 6-day work week. Would you guys like to see this happen in America? Ogie Overman.
That's a horrible idea. I think we should go more toward the Japanese model of fewer hours and, you know, afternoon naps and less.
You and I take afternoon naps, that's right. Don, what do you think?
I think no, but just think of what the overtime would be under our current laws and rules.
Yeah, David, a 12-hour work day, 6-hour work week.
That's what I work right now. So what's the big deal? What's the big deal?
That's right. You work about a 40-hour day, David does. Finally, a 40-year-old Indiana man is suing his parents because they threw away his collection of pornography valued at over $30,000. Now, guys, I don't want to get into the whole thing about what he had stashed there. He's a 40-year-old guy suing his parents. But I have sort of a nostalgic G-rated question for you guys. Did your parents ever get rid of anything valuable to you, accidentally or on purpose? Ogie?
I'm trying to think, Jim. I just don't remember. I mean, I really had good parents. I don't think they would have been vindictive to throw away something that meant a lot to me.
Well, they might not have known it. Like mine, I think
it
threw
could
away
have
my.
happened. I just don't remember it happening.
They threw away my Beatle wig. I think was.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Accidentally done.
I think I had, I'm just thinking, my parents were also very good too, Ogie, and good to me, but I think I had some old, how you get these old favorite clothes? And my mom is cleaning out stuff and gone.
David.
Old favorite clothes. See this jacket? I am jealous.
That's
Talking
right.
about old favorite clothes. Now, my baseball cards. I had a Roger Maris original.
Oh.
I have no idea where that is, but that is worth a lot, and somebody's got it.
Oh, man.
And so I'm upset. If I find out who it is, I'm suing them.
Oh, gosh. Well, there you go. Call Daggett.
Ogie looks like he might have it.
I wish I had mine back.
What's the number at Daggett Schuler? We'll have, No, all right. Well, that's all the time we have, and I feel sorry about that Roger Maris card. Oh, except for this. Lorraine Warren, the woman who inspired the Amityville Horror and was known as America's Ghost Hunter, passed away last week at age 92. Quote, Lorraine was a good friend. You could never fool her. She could see right through me, said Casper. You have to think about that for a second. See, Casper is yeah.
Don't explain it.
See right through her.
Yes, that's right. For all of us here, come back next week for the David Daggett Show here on Triad Today. We'll see you next week.